Hey, what's going on, Facebook? Let me just make sure that I got the audio going, and I just also want to make sure that I got the right setting here as well, that we're all on the same page. There we go. That's what I wanted. Awesome. Okay, welcome to the peeps in my Facebook family. I just wanted a chance to connect with you. I had an insight from a client call today, and I thought that you'd be able to relate to this. And we're talking about the concept of gathering and collecting evidence. Big group, yeah. So where are we? Where am I right now? Right now, I am in beautiful Brisbane, Australia. We are here at poolside, just arrived in our Airbnb, and had a client session that really resonated with me because I looked at the evidence in my life. I looked at the way that I look at things, and I found that the stress that I encounter and the way that I feel and the emotional traumas and dramas and breakdowns that my clients go through and I sometimes go through all have to do with the direction of my focus. And I really wanted to share a little bit of neuroscience with you regarding how you can use neuroscience to your advantage. And I really got present to this at the New Zealand Chiropractic College with Dr. Michael Hall, who is a neurology professor, and he basically talked about the right prefrontal cortex, this part over here. And depending on your mental state, I've discovered from the people in my program and the participants in my workshop, that's why I'm here actually in Brisbane. We're doing the overview experience here in Brisbane, and this phenomenon comes up, and this will be good for you if you ever struggle with anxiety, if you're ever struggling with depression, you're struggling to kind of move forward in your life. And what I've discovered is that there are two very important considerations that we have, and there's an action step that I'm going to give you today that will be able to give you something tangible that you can leave with, that you can actually that can be implemented now, starting now. That's going to make all the difference in the world for you. Now, before I go on, I'd like to know where you're signing in from. The sun is pretty hot here. It's pretty hot in Brisbane right now. We just came from Sydney, and Sydney was chilly, and now so I can't hardly see, but hopefully this will resonate with you. There's two parts to mindset, and I've been traveling the world and teaching people about the importance of mindset and the direction of our focus. And there's two very important considerations, and I want you to look at two hands here. So I have my left hand and my right hand. And the whole idea is there's several different quadrants that we can be in. So when the left hand represents here the day-to-day mindset, and the right hand represents the vision towards the future. So it's important for us to have, if we want to bend reality, okay, hey, what's up, Nat? If we want to bend reality and create a lifestyle and a life and relationships that are fulfilling to us, we're going to require two very important considerations. And the first one is on the right-hand side, is your vision for the future. And this is where many people, from my experience of working with people, when they reach out to me, wherever I travel, whatever groups I speak to, this is lacking in a majority of human beings. 7 billion people on the planet. Very few of them, and when we're younger, when we're children, we dream a lot. We have a vision for the future. But many of us, when I ask, okay, so what's your vision? What's your passion? What is it that you'd love to create? That right hand, which represents the vision, it doesn't exist. So it's impossible to create a fulfilling, meaningful life of experience and contribution if we don't have a vision for the future. So for me, my vision is to be able to create a ripple effect in the families and in the lives of all the people. Hey, Yvonne, of course we know where you're from. Karen, gosh, it's hot in Vegas, that's right. Can't wait to go check it out. We haven't even seen it. So the question I have for you is, what is the vision that you have for the future? And when I ask most people, they don't actually know. They say, oh, I don't really know. And so they'll have depression, they'll have, roadblocks in their life, but there is no real, what is it that you want? So for me, I had a desire, especially last year when I made a declaration that I wanted a community of people, a community, not just a community of followers, a community of leaders, community of global leaders who made impacts and ripple effects in the lives of other people. And whether it be their families, as a leader of a family, or a leader of a community somewhere, or a leader of a movement, these people it was a vision that I had, that I built up a community of leaders where I traveled around the world. Hey, Neda, what's up, sweetie? Nice to see you, cousin. Where I get to travel around the world, and I have this community of leaders, so that wherever I enter, whatever city I go to on the planet is my home. That was my vision. And it's been happening. I land in New Zealand, and I have people who are like family. I go to Australia. I'm going to Toronto. We're going to be in London, UK this year. We're going to be in Hawaii. Every single city, this was the vision that I had. Every single city that I go to, I want it to be, sorry, I have something stuck in my teeth. It's quite distracting. Sorry about that. Every single city that I would love to go to, I want it to be like my home. And so that was the vision. So that was one of them. I wanted to, everybody asks, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? Everybody says, I would travel and I would help people. Yeah, that's exactly what the vision that I had. I get to travel and I get to help people. This weekend we have a sellout in the overview experience, Brisbane, and I get to help people by teaching them a magnificent tool that will dramatically shift and alter the course of their lives, so that they can go on and move on to become inspired leaders, which is part of my vision. So I had that vision, okay? But that's not enough. I'm going to share that with you. It's not enough just to have a vision, okay? This is very There we go. I'm back. Can you see me? It is hot here. This is actually crazy, because it's so hot here that my phone just froze. So I'm going to just give a second. Can you guys see me? Give me a thumbs up. Can you give me some hearts here? Can you give me some hearts and let me know if you can actually see me? Thumbs up, thumbs down, by the way, if you can. Or just poolside to get the whole pool by ourselves. Can you see me? Give me a thumbs up. I just got cut off because this freaking weather is so hot that my phone just freaking melted. Anyway, so I'm moving into a shady spot here. I'm moving into a shady spot so I can share this with you. So the first step is to have a vision. Oh, hey, Sarah, what's up, girl? So the first step is to have that vision. What is it for you? So Sarah, you're a photographer. Greg, I'm not quite sure what you do. What is that vision that you have for yourself? Okay, so maybe I can look me in the eye right here. What's the vision that you have for yourself? It's important. If you want to bend reality and you want to create a life of meaning, purpose, experience, contribution, all of the things that you are aspiring, we all human beings, we're all the same. We all want the same thing. If you want to have that, number one is you have to have a vision. But as I said before, the thing just crapped out on me. Just having a vision is not enough. It's not enough. Because if you want to bend reality, perfect, Ricardo. By the way, reach out to me right after. I have, right after this broadcast, let's have a chat. You and I are due for a conversation. It's not enough to just have a vision, okay? The second hand here is your daily mindset. Now, watch this. If your left hand down here, most people, when they came to me as a chiropractor, when I was working as a chiropractor, the left hand of their day-to-day life was down here. Depression, sadness, each and every day mindset, and they didn't have a vision for themselves. So the left hand was down and the right hand was down. This is, if you don't have a vision of your future and your mindset on a day-to-day basis with your nutrition, the way that you move, your spinal alignment, all of those things is down, then you're a miserable bastard. Okay? This is the category of miserable bastard. This is the category you don't want to be in. And the shitty part about this is when I was kind of peering in on anxiety and depression support groups, people who are in the anxiety and depression support groups don't realize that they have choices in getting themselves out of miserable bastard mode. And I'm not saying this to be mean or rude. I'm just saying this as good news because it means we all have a potential to be able to transform it. 100%. We all have a potential to transform it. And here's how. Then we have category number 2 where the day-to-day is high and we still don't have a vision. So if you have a day-to-day is high and you don't have a vision, then each and every day you go and you get excited. You're like, let's party. Tonight we're going to go have fun. We're going to go get drunk tonight. We're going to go to the sports game and just get loud and obnoxious and paint our faces and rah. Okay, great. That's fantastic. You get all high, you get all excited, you get all high and woohoo, party it up. But then there's still no vision for your future. And what goes up must come down. And what ends up happening is you go up and then you struggle with a crash. Okay? You can't bend reality to create a magnificent life of contribution and experience if you have a vision that's only about getting high and excited for the weekend or tonight. This falls in many people. This falls into the category of the masses. All right? And I'm not, by the way, if I say something that triggers you, pay attention to what triggers you. Let me know in the comment section. I'm not trying to trigger you, but unfortunately when I speak, I trigger a lot of people because I speak the truth about this stuff and they see themselves in it or they refuse to see themselves in it. They get triggered and they give me one of these or, they send me a private message or they tell me up in there, they got their arms crossed. They give me feedback, their arms are crossed, their faces are down. I get it. So if it triggers you, just let me know on the comment section. I don't mind. These are the people who, the mega sports fans who are all about just the sports thing and they don't have a vision. This is like party central. Let's do this, okay? Without a vision for the future, okay? Now, that's one. There's quadrant number 2. Now there's quadrant number 3, which there's people who have a great vision for their future, but the day-to-day mindset is absolute crap. Welcome. So it's down here on the left hand, up here with the right hand. That, my friends, is stress and anxiety. This is about 80% from my experience, chiropractors, entrepreneurs, people who are looking to become influencers. These are the aspiring, inspired leaders. These are aspiring leaders. These are the people who just dream of having leadership one day, making an impact, making a contribution. It's just that they see a huge gap between where they are and where they would love to be. That's in the quadrant number 3 where the left hand is down here, the right hand is way up. And that sucks, but that's stress and anxiety. This is where most entrepreneurs, as I said, lie. This is where they are. Now, in that space, we feel a struggle. We feel an inner struggle. We feel like we're not measuring up. We feel like we're not good enough. The dark passenger, as I like to share, as part of my some of the stuff that I teach my students and my clients. This dark passenger is usually taking over and beating you up and kind of lending to you not feeling good enough. You can't really, although it's a better existence than obviously the first 2 quadrants, these are the people who come to me with adrenal burnout, anxiety, depression, breakdowns in their marriages. They just don't feel like they're living life according to their own kind of design. It's a kind of a bridge, and those are the people who when I kind of talk to, I interview to see if those are the people. Those are the people that I generally work with, because I was living that for the longest time as a chiropractor. I had this dream and aspiration of being able to come to amazing destinations across the world, like Australia, like the UK, like the different parts of the United States, and travel and help people. But my reality wasn't that, so I was always beating myself up and comparing myself to other people and thinking that I wasn't good enough and I wasn't measuring up, and look at that person's relationship and why don't I have that same thing? And I look at my twin brother and I go, why does he have that and I don't have that? And so it's a shitty place to be, and I get it, and that's why those are the people that are that reach out to me. If that's you, send me a private message, tell me exactly what your story is, and I can basically, over a 1 hour period, strategize with you on how to get to the other side. That's basically what I do. So send me a private message if that's you. The fourth type, which is what I help people get to, is the type, this is what my clients do. My Powerfully Aligned program is all about this. And Ricardo, you know this. You're one of the peeps that I work with, so you know exactly how this works. It is when you bend reality. It's the part of you, it's the state that you could be in when you bend reality. And it's all about your focus, and it's all about gathering evidence. And I'm going to share this with you in a moment. It's when you have an amazing grand vision for the future. You have a future where you're imagining yourself in your nutrition practice, in your chiropractic practice, in your photography business, all of this crazy stuff. And your day-to-day mindset. You've cultivated a series of habits where your mindset is now in alignment with those things. The relationships in your life are now restored with integrity, so that there's no place on this planet that you're afraid of bumping into someone. God forbid, I don't want to. Some of my clients, they would tell me when they started the program, they would be like, I can't go into this city, I can't go into Montreal, I can't go to Toronto, and definitely afraid of going to Chicago because I'm afraid of bumping into this, and this person. Okay, great. Well, that is a great indicator that lack of integrity or that fear or that incomplete that you have is contributing to your shitty daily mindset, and it requires a closer look and restoration. That's what we do with every one of my clients, because that's what I had to do. I went through the exact same thing last year, and I made a freaking list of about 30 people, ex-girlfriends that I cheated on, former clients of mine that I didn't give my best to, and I went on a warpath, and I got complete with every single one of them, to the point where now I was wondering why I had no power in my voice. Tell me if this is you. Tell me if you can relate to me. I reached a point of breakdowns in my relationships where I felt like a fraud. I felt like I was unworthy. I couldn't get in front of a camera like this and share a message because I didn't think that I was worthy of it. I didn't think that I had a voice that was worthy of being heard. And because of that, that robbed me of my power and contributed to my anxiety and my depression. So what I did was I went down the list and I got into action. See, the people in the support groups refuse to get into action because they've already defeated themselves. The work that I do, I have a strict kind of application process to work with me because I don't accept people like that. Exactly, Yvonne. God bless you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I specifically have a strict application process because you want to say, oh, I'm anxious, I'm depressed. Okay, great. There's some action steps that you are to do in order to change that. You can change that. Those people in the support groups would say, no, it's anxiety. It is a genetic disorder. My mother had it as well. I was taught all of my lifestyle habits and the way to deal with adversity by my mother and father. They sucked at it too, so they had these problems too. I have it too, and there's no help. There's no hope for me. So I don't work with those people. Those people have no hope because they will be stuck in that situation. Sorry to trigger you, but it's the fact. You're stuck in that place for the rest of your life because you don't feel worthy of taking action. Please delete this post or unblock me or block me because my message is not for you. So what's available to you when you take this on is a sense of power. And when I took it on, I gave myself permission to be able to speak up, to be able to look into a camera and to deliver a message from my heart authentically and not feel shame, not feel guilt, not feel unworthiness. I became what I always aspired to be, which was an inspired leader. And that only happened not because I thought I was better than, but because I humbled myself and I went in and I did the difficult work. And now there isn't a room on this planet, a place on this earth that that I'm afraid of walking into because I have nothing but love and affinity for those people in my life. And if I have an incomplete with anyone, I'll jump right back on that horse and get complete with it, because I don't want to live one more day in my life, because we're not here forever. We pretend like we're going to be living forever. Yes, lots of work to do, and there will be, Yvonne. It's a work in progress. And I'm constantly working with my mother, falling in and falling out of integrity and being real and speaking the truth. But you're learning the tools to be able to jump back on. And the goal is you get to the point where there is nowhere on this planet where you're ashamed of stepping into. And so what a gift that is. Because many of us, Yvonne, tell me if this is true, when we began and you were out of integrity with your mother, she could pass away at any time, God forbid, and then you are like many of my clients where you realize, holy shit, I haven't spoken to so-and-so for 8 years, 9 years, and I just kind of put it off and I went on with my life, not really, hey, what's up, Liam? Nice to see you, brother. You basically get to a point where you think that you're going to live forever, and the person could pass away, and then you've lost your chance. And the question you want to ask yourself when you're dealing with this, because we're dealing with the day-to-day mindset, is if you had 1 week to live, if you knew that you were going to pass away in 1 week, and you had 1 week to live, who have you not gotten complete with that you know that you would be if you got that 1 week diagnosis? And if you had 1 week to live, every single conversation would have a sense of fierce urgency to express and receive love. Every single breakdown in relationships would be thrown out the window, and you just would be like, homie, nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? We don't have time for that. And so I challenge a lot of my students and a lot of the clients that I work with and the chiropractors that I speak to all over the world to live as though you had a week left. And when you think of things that way, it creates a sense of urgency and presence in your speech, intention in your voice, and it all comes down to expressing and receiving love. That's what it all comes down to, in your own unique form. You could be doing it through cooking. You could be doing it as Dr. Liam Schubel does, traveling the world and helping uplift chiropractors and give them a sense of confidence, clarity, certainty, so that they can have meaningful practices and lives and live a life that they're impacting other people. So that's Liam, my buddy Liam's unique gift, and he's amazing at it. He's got this magnetic charm and personality when he's speaking, and he's using that to the best of his ability, and he doesn't have any time. He's got this insane focus of what it is that he's here to do, and he's got no time for critics, haters, all of that stuff, which he gets plenty of, which support as well as the opposite. And so I look up to Liam for that very same thing. He's got it dialed in. And the most important part of that is relationships. Relationships. What relationships are you having breakdowns in that are incomplete? And the answer to that is why your day-to-day mindset, we have the vision that's up there, but the day-to-day mindset, that's one of the causes of your day-to-day mindset being down here. So when you're, and the last part is to get your vision up there and your mindset up there by restoring integrity with the relationships, day-to-day rituals, a series of rituals that bring you back to the vision and connection there, and speaking the truth, speaking the truth, speaking the truth, speaking the truth, authentic truth, uncomfortable, authentic truth, sharing that in a way that others can be touched and moved and inspired. When you do that, a big piece of that is gathering and collecting evidence. Once you've done that, this is the part that I'm going to share with you that's really important, is that it is up to you, if you want to keep that mindset up, is every single day turn your focus towards telling the story of how your vision is actually coming true. Every single client testimonial I get in the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind group or the Art of Powerful Alignment group, every single one that I get, I look at and I log in. If you look at my Facebook page, in the Art of Powerful Alignment, in my group, I just posted that what inspired this. If you look at my Facebook timeline, my good buddy Anthony Gole, who just sold his practice around the same time just a year after I did, and he's now on to his other company that he's really just killing it with. He's talking about spending time with his family and some of the stuff that he learned from the presentation that I had that he was able to impart on his children. Well, guess what? Him posting that was one evidence of my dreams manifesting. And so I choose to, each and every day, with all of the challenges that I go through, all of the, ups and the downs and the vision and all of that, the roadblocks, the obstacles in my path, I can choose to look at them, or I could choose to look at the evidence that my dreams are manifesting, that I'm making an impact, that people's lives are being transformed, that I'm living the life of my design. I can look over here. That's Amanda laying down over there. I don't know if you can see her. She's laying down right there by the pool. Just the fact that I'm able to share this. I'm working right now. That's evidence of my dreams manifesting. I'm talking to certain clients afterwards. It's just an incredible tool that you have at your disposal that many of us don't use because we just like to tell the story of how things aren't working. So I'm going to invite you right now to do that. What evidence do you have right now in your life that your dreams are actually manifesting? That's the first question that I had. Start noticing and logging those things each and every day. Where were you 6 months ago compared to where you are now? And if you told me last year that I would be here, I would have just been over the moon, elated, because I was coming through a deep depression after selling my practice. I did not know who I was and what I wanted to do. It was like going through a second divorce. I went through an identity crisis at the same time as a midlife crisis because I'm 41 years old. I went through both of them at the same time, and I did enough work, and I got the mentorship, and I hired an Obi-Wan to help me see that this whole identity crisis that I was going through is all a bunch of bullshit. I made up the identity myself, and so it's time for me to create a new identity. So from that moment, I created a new identity, and part of that identity was being able to travel to amazing places like Australia and share the thing that I love to do the most, which is the adjustment above Atlas to help people become powerfully aligned in their lives. And when I started doing that and started telling that story and gathering evidence, I see evidence each and every day. I look on social media and somebody has been affected in a positive way by something that I shared with them. Boom, they post it. Boom, that's evidence, and I get to see that from Brisbane, Australia. So it's available to you as well, is what I'm trying to say. It's totally available to you. It's just that we just don't take the time or give ourselves the permission to look. And I am writing you a permission slip right now, handing it over to you. It's a prescription permission slip for you to start gathering the data and the evidence each and every day that your vision is coming true, that everything that you had is on the way. And when you do that, when you get this right, the result is ultimate power. The result is a connection to your higher self. The result is a heart filled with gratitude, prosperity and abundance that starts to flow towards you, you feeling deeper connections with people. And when you don't have this right, you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and saying, oh, I don't have it, and you're weeping and wailing and gnashing your teeth, and then which then creates thoughts, which then cause you to create chemicals, which then cause you to feel certain ways that are in alignment with those thoughts, and then you start to act out in ways in alignment with those feelings, and then you start to produce more shitty results, which then leads to more evidence that your life isn't, going the way that you want. See that it becomes this vicious cycle. So that vicious cycle ends with action. It ends with accountability. It ends with taking an action step beyond what's possible and hiring the right people, getting the right mentors, getting the right people to guide you to that greater version of yourself, because chances are there's stuff in your past that's causing that left hand to kind of go down. And so I'm here to share with you that you can turn that all around. What would you do? What would you do, and who would you be? How would it impact your life right now if you had 1 week left to live? Send me a private message. Let me know what's happening for you, and let's continue the conversation. Join the Art of Powerful Alignment Facebook group. Continue the conversation. And what does this bring up for you? Any feedback that you have? It's important that if you tag somebody that you know, or share this with your particular group that really needs to hear this, because chances are there's somebody in one of these quadrants, either both down here, or in stress and anxiety, they can move to the next level just by hearing this message. God bless you guys. Let me know how this impacted you, and please share this and like and comment and ask a question, and I'd love to be there for you. Peace. God bless you, and see you at the next perfect time.